My friend, let me tell you a story my grandmother once shared with me when I was much younger. It's a story that sounds simple at first, but if you listen well, you will feel the weight inside it. It's called The Man Who Mocked the Moon. There was once a man named Obinna who lived in a quiet village surrounded by farmlands, thick bush paths, and the kind of silence that teaches you to hear your own footsteps. Obinna was strong, clever, and full of energy. But he had one problem. He believed he was wiser than everyone else. Whenever elders talked, he would laugh. Whenever anyone gave him advice, he would wave his hand as if shooing away a stubborn housefly. And whenever nights grew calm and the moon shone brightly over the village, Obinna would walk outside, look up at the sky, and boast loudly as if the whole world was watching him. One night, after a good harvest, he stood outside his hut, drinking palm wine and bragging. He looked up at the round full moon and said, "Moon, what is your use? You just sit there doing nothing. I work harder than you. I shine brighter than you. Even my lamp has more fire than your cold light." His neighbors warned him. They told him stories of the moon's patience, of its quiet watchfulness, of how no one insults what they do not understand. But Obinna only scoffed and laughed. "It is just light," he said, "a lifeless stone floating in the sky." Days passed, then weeks. But one night, when the moon was full again, Obinna decided to repeat his mockery. He was feeling proud after settling a long-standing dispute in the village, and he believed he was invincible. He walked into the open space in front of his hut, raised his voice and shouted, "Moon, show me what you can do. If you have any power, let me see it." That night, the air felt different. The wind slowed. Even the crickets stopped singing, as if waiting for something. But Obinna, blinded by his pride, didn't notice. He simply went inside and slept with a satisfied smile on his face. Around midnight, he woke up sweating. The air felt strange, heavier than usual. He stepped outside, and there, in the middle of the compound, was a pool of pale blue light, soft but alive, almost like it was breathing. He blinked, rubbed his eyes, but the light remained. Before he could speak, the light shifted, rose, and shaped itself into something tall. Not a human, not a spirit with wings, just a quiet figure glowing like moonlight on water. "Obinna," it said, its voice calm, neither angry nor kind, "you called me." His legs shook like those of a newly born goat. For the first time, his pride melted. He tried to speak, but no words came out of his mouth. The figure stepped closer, not walking, just gliding. "You mock what you do not understand," it said. "You insult what has watched over your forefathers, what has guided travelers, what has inspired songs and calmed troubled hearts. You believe silence means weakness. You believe patience means emptiness. But the things that are most powerful do not shout." Obinna fell to his knees, trembling. He finally found his voice and whispered, "Forgive me, I did not know." The figure's glow dimmed slightly, like a lantern covered with cloth. "You did not want to know," it replied, "but you will learn." And just like that, the light vanished, and everything became dark again. Not the normal dark of night. This one was deeper, thicker, almost like the sky had swallowed its own light. The next morning, the village woke up to Obinna screaming. He could not see, not even faint shadows. The sun rose, and still he saw nothing. The villagers gathered, confused and afraid. Obinna explained what happened, choking on his own words. Some believed him. Others thought it was madness, but everyone felt fear creeping around them like cold morning mist. For weeks, Obinna lived in darkness. No one punished him, no one scolded him. Life itself was teaching him. He started listening, really listening, to people's footsteps, to the way their voices carried emotion, to the quiet lessons hidden inside each day. He stopped boasting. He started relying on others, humbling himself to accept help. And with time, the village noticed a change. He greeted everyone kindly. He sat with elders just to hear their stories. He became gentle. One evening, when the moon was half full and hanging shyly in the sky, Obinna walked outside with the help of his younger brother. He lifted his face upward and said quietly, "I was foolish. I mocked what I did not understand. I have learned that true power does not need to make noise. True wisdom does not argue to be seen." The wind picked up gently, touching his cheeks like a mother wiping a child's tears. And slowly, very slowly, Obinna began to see a faint glow, just a tiny drop of light, but it was real. Over the next few days, his sight returned bit by bit, like dawn pushing away the night. By the next full moon, Obinna could see clearly again. But he never mocked the moon after that. In fact, he became one of the most humble men in the entire region. People came to him for advice, not because he was strong or loud or proud, but because he had tasted darkness and learned the value of light. And whenever the moon shone brightly over the village, Obinna would stand quietly, not boasting, not shouting, just grateful. And he would whisper, "Thank you for your patience." My friend, that is the story of the man who mocked the moon. Some people learn through guidance, others through experience. But those who ignore lessons until life teaches them usually pay a price. Pride is a heavy load to carry, but humility can save a person from their own mistakes. And sometimes the things we look down on are the very things protecting us in ways we may never understand.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the video for others to learn. Thank you for watching.